Hello folks, and welcome to what looks like Morrowind but isn't, what looks like Skyrim but isn't, what is in reality Skywind. A really awesome mod effort by a large group of people to basically make the entirety of Morrowind in Skyrim. This is my second attempt to record a video on this because unfortunately the first one crashed on me and Bandicam doesn't like it when things crash in the middle. So unfortunately that did not go well. However, I'll keep this one kind of short and just say this is a really, really cool effort on the part of these people. And despite the fact that this may look beautiful and awesome, like, oh my god, it works so great, it really doesn't. There are a lot of issues with things like textures a little bit ugly. There was a hole in a mountainside at one point where I was at, and there were obvious lines where textures kind of crisscrossed. Lots of rats are labeled Gwar because they don't seem to have a Gwar model yet. And, yeah, stairs a little bit wonky, all sorts of things like that. Curious what's in these things, because previously I think there were all sorts of weird, like, really... Oh, well, that's also an issue. Anyway, it's a cool system that works because technically you're playing Skyrim. Oh, what the heck is that? Nope, 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 nope. You know what? No, I'm just gonna leave. I forget, do things follow you in Morrowind? Or Skyrim? Oh, geez. Well, people get pissed at you, apparently. Oh, that's a mage. Let's just get out of here. Anyway, yeah, a lot of models are missing. And, oh yes, this is the entirety of the game's engine is Skyrim. But, the quests and the dialogue, which is a little bit broken in a way I'll show you later, and things like that are Morrowind. I believe, I'm not entirely sure, and with all the crashing, it's almost certain that it wouldn't fully work, but I believe it is possible to play the game's quest line from start to finish, as well as several of the side quests. I can't confirm that. I've only had this since last night, and it keeps crashing on me. But, you know, it's a work in progress. That's just what happens. I think there's a fix for the crash that I keep experiencing. I just haven't gone through and done it yet, because I don't really intend to play this yet. But I just wanted to get the word out that this exists, and is awesome. It's really great that this is being made, and as soon as it is finished, if it ever gets to a point where this is like legitimately fully playable and good, and I'm gonna pause the recording here and come back because this is where it crashed on me last time. I will totally play this, is what I was going to say, but let me pause real fast. And people may be asking me, why are you messing around with this when you obviously already have Morrowind patched into a working state and you could just be playing that? Well, the answer to that question is, I did, and I had it recorded, and I made that teaser and everything, and then I lost my footage. So, yeah, that was just a bit disappointing. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that. I intend to possibly still do a series at some point. I'm not sure how much I want to edit it and cut it apart and things like that, but I do intend to still make a series on this, well, on Morrowind. But we'll have to figure out that when the time comes. As you can see, we have some of the old armors. Got the voice clips on there with a separate mod that's like approved to work with this that lets them sound like that. If you talk to them, they don't actually say anything, and that's a separate thing. You may notice.
Ooh, you're naked. Spare me.
Yeah, she's naked. I am not. But everyone sees me as naked. I believe this is because most of the clothing is not implemented in the game yet, and a lot of armor isn't.
I am not amused.
Shut up. So it kind of, you know, it has its issues. Also, what I meant to show, but I forgot for a second, if I talk to her and she goes, oh my god, you have no decency, this is everything I can talk to her about. In Morrowind, I would probably have, like, 3 options, and then the actual discussion off to the side. And then I would have to click each one to start unlocking all of these as time went on. However, because we don't have the same chat system here, and these haven't been properly set in there to be like a dialogue tree, you can talk to everyone about everything right off the bat. So if you go to someone who knows something about, like, the final quest, you could, theoretically at least, skip directly to the end of that conversation if you knew what you had to talk about to spark that line of dialogue. So it doesn't work quite right now. Also, there's a taunt option for every person, which I believe makes them attack you. And there has been said somewhere, I forget where it was, some laws of Morrowind, a direct verbal attack counts as a direct physical attack and is against the law. So if you do that, the guards will get pissed at you. Watch out for that. I didn't remember that being a thing, but I'll have to remember that if I ever go back to playing actual Morrowind. So yeah, I mean, parts are broken, obviously not finished, and not even really playable right now. I mean, it is playable, but it's not working. But it's so cool to see it in progress. Like the Coma Forager. A little bit fat and chubby, but they have a face now. They aren't the tiny little toothpaste tube of death they once were. A lot of monsters are not working. What you may see as I wander around here are lots of rats. Everything that doesn't yet have a model seems to be a rat right now. That or doesn't exist at all. Cliff racers, unfortunately, do not exist, and that made me the saddest of everything. How can you have Morrowind and not hear that squawking sound and just be terrified? It's just not the same. But lots of other things, like Guar and Alex and something else, I forget what it was now, are rats for some reason, because I guess they're kind of equivalent damage-wise. Whereas things like Scribs and I think most ghosts simply do not exist in this world, and it's very sad. That's pretty much all there is to say on this. I was hoping to spread the word on this and get it out there. I'm mixing together what I said previously and what I said in the video that got lost, so I apologize if I start repeating myself. But I'm just gonna make this last check for that thing that I'm looking for, and look at those birds over there, which I think you can shoot down. I don't have a bow, so I can't test that theory right now. And then we'll call it off. I have also... What the... Oh, hello, random dude. I have also not done too much of the combat. A lot of the weapons that are special to Morrowind, like spears and the tantos and all those things, exist. Some are not properly textured, but they do exist. And they seem to function like the closest they could get in Skyrim. So spears are actually two-handed swords. The smaller sword weapons are just one-handed swords, and this game runs on the Skyrim engine. So the skills, at the moment, I am not sure if they plan on updating this, are the Skyrim list of skills. So there is no spear skill, axe skill, blunt skill. There is simply one-handed, two-handed. So, that also means that your fists are not the greatest weapons because there is no hand-to-hand skill for you to grind up. So you gotta be careful about that. And I think, you know, my wandering, I have managed to wander my way back to the first town of Seyda-Neen? Yes, Seyda-Neen. And buildings are fading into existence. And unfortunately, they do not have the Silt Striders in yet. You can use them, you can travel, but they don't actually exist. So, yeah. It's
There's
sad.
someone watching me.
Oh, and there goes that cup that was just floating in midair. Which is, it's kind of strange that they don't have the Silt Sliders, since the Silt Sliders were actually added to that one expansion. There are also the Skyrim loading screens right now, because I don't have the other side mod that could change them to the Morrowind fan art ones. Just didn't seem... Oh, jeez, why am I still here? And I can't fast travel, can I? No, stop. Leave it. Can I fast travel with enemies nearby? Crap, damn it. Time to run. Lots of stuff is working. You can forage lots of plants that don't technically exist in in Skyrim. And they even have the little, like, bonus foliage that disappears when you harvest them, so those are working fairly well. And that's good. That's good. I like that. It seems like there's still something off in the distance, but it's not actually chasing me anymore. So I'm going to try to fast travel. If I can't, then we'll just call it. No, let's go Sedanine. Yes. There we go. And, I mean, they've done an amazing job replicating the areas you'll see most often. Balmoral looks great. The lighthouse is awesome. It's got that tree growing through it now more than it did. It's all really cool. It's just, you know, there's a lot to do still. They even updated the opening cinematic, which is really cool. And they put the Skyrim-style character creation when you get off the boat there. It does kind of mess up the beginning when that one dude asks your name, but, you know, it works out.
That was the strangest book I've ever read.
It seems the mod that allows people to talk ambiently around you makes them talk ambiently around you non-stop, so maybe think twice about installing that one. But yeah, I keep just kind of stopping, going, but yeah, it's cool. And yeah, it's cool. It looks really nice. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that before. It's awesome. I'll be keeping my eye on it tentatively, but I think I'm not actually going to use it. I may, in fact, uninstall it, because it's quite a large group of files. In the meantime, if you feel like checking it out, feel free to do so. Just Google Skywind, and you should be able to find it, no problem. There's also their other project, Morrowind, which is, as you might guess, Morrowind in Oblivion instead. And I believe that might be a little farther along, so maybe that will be interesting to you. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this little first look, and I will see you next time.